$5 billion at a 90% margin, available for $13 million. And that's all that matters to a successful life. Weak competition. Welcome to Idea Hunters. Today is going to be a different kind of video. Today we're going to talk about seastar Medical, saving lives by making 100 times your money. So first of all, who am I? I've invested for 4 years. I have had a passion for investing and Warren Buffett for 6 years. And I've been looking at like 10 ideas per week, skipping every one of them. This is my return. In blue, you can see that I have beat the S&P 500 up to date, although it is a close return, I have to say. So basically, I do the same thing over and over and over again when everyone wants to sell and everyone hates a certain company, but the company is actually not that bad off. I say, come to Alois, come to Alois. I will take you in my arms. And then the mistake I've done is that after it has moved up 50-60%, I've actually sold. But if you look at the companies I've bought, they have tripled oftentimes. So I buy companies when no one wants them, and same story over and over, and we enjoy what we do here at Idea Hunters. So, seastar Medical. What is the problem? When children have acute kidney injury, so that's the kind of injury with sepsis, 50% of them die, or even more. And 30% of the ones I think that survive end up with chronic disease like dialysis. And so what if instead you had 77% survival, no dialysis dependency, which, oh, by the way, it costs $100,000 per year if you have a dialysis dependency, and no device-related security issues. Oh, that's us. We sell this product, Quelimmune. We save lives. So that's seastar Medical. They save lives. They reduce dialysis dependency. And they are trading for nothing. But we will get into that later. So what's the dream? There is 4,000 cases of pediatric acute kidney injury with sepsis requiring KRT. I don't know what that is. In US hospitals every year. And basically it costs $25,000 per treatment. Hospitals save $40,000 per treatment because of decreased length of stay. At 25% of patients treated, well, that would be 1,000 patients, but at 12.5% patients treated, that would be 12.5 million annual revenue with a 90% gross margin. So right now they have about a $1 million annual revenue and a 92% gross margin in Q3 of 2025. But yeah, so they could bring $9 million to the bottom line before taxes, interest, and so on and so forth. Here's why we are getting into that stocks. At the end of 2026, the study of adult acute kidney injury is going to be finished, and they have 200,000 cases of that per year. With 40% of patients treated, that would be $2 billion of annual revenue. Children and adults are dying unnecessarily, and hospitals are desperate for a solution. So here's the results in adults. They just survive more when they use their product. They survive less when they don't use their product. They are not dependent on dialysis. And when they use the product, they are dependent on dialysis when they don't use the product. What are the financials of this? So they've invested about $150 million. They're burning 2.5 million per quarter. They have about 20 million of cash, and they've diluted their shareholders massively to $34 million shares. And right now they have about like $1.2 million of annual revenue and a $20 million market cap. Wrong. Actually, since I made the presentations, it went down to a like $12 million market cap. Okay. So here is the math. There are about 8 quarters that they can survive with no revenue. Okay. There are about 8 quarters they can survive with no revenue because they've got 20 million, burning about 2.5 per quarter. They have 0 debts. In 1.5 years, the data is going to come out on their study. If the data is positive, the FDA is going to approve their device. And they've basically got access to a $5 billion market. And they're going to be a monopoly because they've got the patents, okay? It's been done over and over again. It's just a normal medical device company. And so you've got $5 billion at a 90% margin available for $13 million. $5 billion at a 90% margin available for $13 million. At least that's how we see it. Yeah, so the patents expire from 2028 to 2034. If a competitor would be really quick, it would take him 2 or 3 years after the patent expired because he has to get FDA approval too and do a trial and all that stuff. So I don't expect any competitor to enter before 2032 to 2038. There's no alternative. Until then, they've got the fucking monopoly, okay? They've got the fucking monopoly. And that's all that matters to a successful life. Weak competition, okay? Weak competition. So over the last year, there's been 13 trades, 13 buys. What is the management doing? You always have to follow what the management is doing. Look at NVIDIA, Jensen, selling for like 150 consecutive days. Look at that. Management bought 13 times in the last year. Yeah, so you can make up all these cases for 2028 and 2032, how they're going to make like $5 billion of free cash flow. So what would happen if, for example, here in case 2, if they get $2 billion of free cash flow, okay, they get valued at least $10 billion. Okay, and right now their market cap is around, fully diluted, is around 20 million. So what does that give us? That's a 500x. Okay, 20 million to 10 billion, 500x. I say come to daddy. Come to daddy, bro. Okay, why now? So funding risk is off the table until Q1 of 2028. Um, yeah, so the data is going to be out. The data until now is looking very good, and they've got half the trial done. So like, it just has to keep going the way it has until now. There's no like moonshot surprise that has to happen in order for this to happen. This is the way it's probably going to happen, except if there are always things we don't know. And that's okay. I can live with that. So the probability is that they've got $30 million, 30 million warrants outstanding. And so the fully diluted market cap is 20 million today. Warrants are money that the company receives. It's basically an option to the company. So we get diluted, but we get more money. Yeah, so the odds. The monitoring board recommended continuing the trial, found zero device-related adverse events, and potential clinical benefits. Sample size is estimated up. So that means that it is pointing in the right direction. They just need more people in order to get that p-value to be small enough. So in order to prove statistically that it is significant. And there are zero device-related safety issues across hundreds, if not thousands of hours of testing this device. So here's a study that shows that 45% of new devices get approved with no data. This has gone through 5 different trials with positive fucking data. It's not a new device, okay? And so the odds might be much higher. But of course, this is not financial advice. Go talk to your financial advisor. He will tell you I'm full of shit. Okay, this is my opinion. It's not financial advice. Seastar already has positive fucking data. They have higher odds than 45% to make it. What an opportunity. This is once in a lifetime. There's no second time of this happening. Trends, macro trends, there's an aging population, more disease. This is a recurring revenue business. So once a hospital implemented their product, has all the processes with their product, they're probably not going to change, especially since no one else sells it. But once someone sells it in 2035, that's far off. We don't have to think about that. Two last things. Dialysis costs 100K per year. And 4 other trials are going on for other potential billion-dollar businesses. That's just a by the way that they can make great money. Okay. So I hope you got a lot of value out of this. Yeah, and please ask questions in the comments, and we will see you soon.
Keep on going till you hit the spot. Whoa, I'm a big bag hunter with the bow. She got a big bed, drop it low. Mama called me and she happy with the grow. Never ever fall for a thotty, that's a nose.